Hi everyone, today I want to make a video about the transition from eLearn Security to INE's Cybersecurity Pass. So if you're not familiar with this, back in October of 2020, eLearn Security made a transition from being just eLearn Security's website with their training packages to separating the two offerings out into kind of two different areas. So one is the Cybersecurity Pass, which can be found here on INE's website. Basically, the cybersecurity pass is a pass that gives you all the course content for all of the certifications that were part of the eLearn security platform. And the other aspect is that the certifications have now been separated out into their own website here with their own pricing structure. And if we take this, for example, the penetration tester professional, add the voucher to the cart. These certifications are $400 a piece. As you can see here, it's $400 for one certification. So to give you some idea of how this used to work before, eLearn Security used to have all of these different certifications, and each one was its own individual cost. And that would include the course content as well. And these came in kind of three separate packages. So there was like a bare bones package, which only had the slides and no labs included. There was like a medium tier package that had the slides, some lab time, like up to like 100 or 120 hours of lab time, depending on the course. And then there was the full package, which had, or the elite package, I think is what they called it, which had everything for $1,600 usually, and that included unlimited lab time, all of the course content, and everything like that. So, in terms of the cost of one of these certifications, almost all the time they're around $1,600 for just one of them. And I'll do a comparison in terms of the pricing model um, and how it's different today compared to what they used to do. So to give you some idea of the old UI and everything in terms of the user experience, I'll go back here to the eLearn Security portal. This is still active today, but they do not offer these courses through this portal in this format anymore. So in the old format, you would have one course that you bought. As you can see here, I have like the Elite, Full. The Elite would be the unlimited lab time. Full was limited lab time if there was labs. For the mobile application penetration tester, there was no labs that you had a set amount of time on. That's beside the point. So let me click down here into a course to show you kind of like the UI. We use the penetration testing student as the example here. So as you can see here, there's different sections. There's a PDF that you can download, some different resources. This is where the videos would be stored. Other additional PDFs, reference guides that you might need, and then there's also a separate labs tab in here. But if you click study, you can resume this PowerPoint, and it's basically a PowerPoint in your web browser here. You can go through, and you can see it's very simple, and all the sections are there. And in terms of the labs, you would actually go to this virtual labs tab, and you would start your lab from here. Each one would have an individual VPN file, as you can see here. So you would download that VPN file and then connect to the lab environment through whatever machine you're using. And the cool thing about the labs and what makes eLearn Security unique is that all of them have these manuals. So if we click into this manual, this really walks you through all aspects of the lab, which is pretty unique as a training platform uh, in terms of learning cybersecurity. Usually, you do not really have a walkthrough unless you go and look it up yourself, which usually lots of people have written them. But a lot of times, the training providers really do not provide these kind of walkthroughs very often. So that's definitely something that's unique about eLearn Security. It can help to hold your hand through the labs, and you can really understand, what exactly you're supposed to do so that you can follow those techniques step by step. And the final part of this area is this former area which is called training paths. So in the previous eLearn security model, you would have these different paths, and once you completed a full path here, then you'd get like a special reward, or you would get a special discount off of other courses. So this is kind of different now. This kind of thing has been what the cybersecurity pass has become more about because you can do any of these courses that you would like. So let's go back to the cybersecurity pass and talk a little bit about that and what differentiates that compared to the old model of e-learn security. Oh, and I also want to start doing a cost calculation here. So let's say that you're an e-learn security student and the default is that you're going to do 2 certifications per year. So, as we talked about, if you want unlimited lab time, which is what we need to compare to if we're going to be comparing to Cybersecurity Pass, because the Cybersecurity Pass does provide unlimited lab time to anyone who is enrolled in the Cybersecurity Pass. So, in terms of cost, we would be saying $1,600 for 2 certifications. So, eLearn Security, old model, that is $3,200 for 2 certifications. Okay. And then if we only get 1 certification, we're looking at a cost of around $1,600 if you want unlimited lab time for that 1 certification. So I would say this $1,600 for 1 certification is probably about average for security certifications in general. And we're actually going to look at later in this video cost comparisons between some popular penetration testing certifications out there. So this would be the old model here. Now let's go and compare it to Cybersecurity Pass and see where the advantages and disadvantages are. So in Cybersecurity Pass, as you can see, here's where it is. You can do a little free preview if you'd like. And I'd also like to note, as I mentioned in my EJPT review video, if you would like to get the Junior Penetration Testing student course for free, you can do that through the INE Starter Pass. And all you have to do here is sign up for the starter pass. It will come with a sample of their videos, and it's a great way to try out the cybersecurity pass if you're interested. And that actually has all of the course content for the EJPT. And the EJPT voucher itself is actually much cheaper than the other uh, vouchers offered by eLearn Security. So let me see if I can find it here in the list. Here it is. The EJPD voucher is only $200. So if you are looking for a very, very cheap way to learn basic penetration testing, maybe you just want to, learn something new this year, maybe get a little bit of a certification or, get some of those CPEs for another certification, the EJPT is a great way. It's only $200 to do that. So if you really want to get started with eLearn Security and try out the platform, you should really go for the starter pass and try out that EJPT course. Anyway, going back to the cybersecurity pass, if you want the full cybersecurity pass, it's $2,000 for 1 year, as we can see here. That is only for 1 year. And there are sometimes some good deals around the holidays. There was quite a few offers where you could get this for about $1,300 for 1 year. And there's also a common offer, I think, in October where you can get 2 years for the price of one, a buy one, get one free. But based on the price comparisons here, we will just do our price comparison based on the vanilla version, just the normal price that you would pay if you bought this on any given day. What would be expected to be paid full price? So $2,000 for 1 year of the pass, and the cool thing about that is that it gives you access to all of the course material for all of these certifications on eLearn Security's website. So everything here, you have all the course material and you have all the labs to work with. And the labs are also unlimited, as I said before. And you can see it outlined here in this area, unlimited lab time, access to all courses, and the updates. So that's definitely a unique aspect of the cybersecurity pass. It really gives you a in-depth knowledge on either side of the coin, whether you're looking at a red side of penetration testing, cybersecurity, etc. Or if you're looking for the blue side, the defender side, they have some web defense courses. They have some interesting different things. So, in terms of cost here, you'll also see that the Cybersecurity Pass gives you 50% off any one e-learn security exam voucher. So that means that you get one exam voucher for $200, and then you get any additional ones for the full price of $400. So let's do that calculation here real quick. What would this cost you? So the INE new model, we're looking at for two certifications, it would be $2,000 for the pass, right? Plus another $200 for one certification because you get 50% off here, right? And an additional $400 for the second certification, and that would be a total of $2,600. So there's our total for two certifications. If we wanted to get just one certification, then we would be looking at $2,000, right? Plus $200 for one certification. So we'd be looking at $2,200 for just one certification. The thing you need to keep in mind about e-learn security in general is that they're still up and coming in the cybersecurity realm. They're definitely gaining more recognition by the day, and a lot of people have come out and said that their training content is great. And I personally really recommend it, and I think their training content is some of the best that is out there, and especially the labs with the walkthrough of the labs is very important for understanding, what you might be doing wrong, or seeing the attacks and tools in action. So I think that aspect of it makes eLearn security very unique. And something else we'll talk about in terms of costs is that eLearn security certifications, if you fail the first time, you get a free retake for the second time. So you don't need to pay any extra money to take a retake as long as you don't need a third attempt. So we'll factor that into the costs comparing to other areas as well. And for now, I'm going to actually log into the portal here so you can see the differences in terms of how the training material looks, the UI, and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see here, there's all kinds of different passes offered by INE, and you also get access to these IT essentials and development courses here. This is just kind of generic things like understanding SQL, understanding some basic networking, and some just kind of like random IT courses here. And then in the development area, there's a lot of kind of programming here, introductions to Python, to Java, some basic things that maybe you would be interested in. That's just kind of a little bit of an added value. And here in the cybersecurity pass, as you can see, each one of those certifications that was shown on eLearn Security's website is sort of in its own learning path here. So you have the penetration testing student, that would correspond with the EJPT certification. You have the penetration testing professional, that would correspond with the penetration testing professional certification. On and on as we go. And so you can go to any of these courses down here, but it's kind of a mishmash of just whatever down here. But if you're pursuing a certification, you're going to want to do it based on the path here, and we'll use the EJPT as an example. So you can see here in the UI, it's kind of nice how it is. There's a path here, and you have these three sections that are kind of focused on different things. So the prerequisites is kind of the knowledge you need to know before you really get started into learning penetration testing to make sure you're covering all your bases. Then you have skills in programming and penetration testing basics. And let's go in here to the prerequisites. And you can see um, that every single slideshow basically has its own section, and you can actually open these slides and go through, and when you're done you can click mark as finished, and it will actually mark your progress here, and you can kind of keep on going through and really keep track in an organized way that you've gone through all the content. You're not really being handed like a 600-page book or a 600-page PDF or whatever it is that you really cannot track your progress, or that you need to make your own like training schedule to go through. This is really all there. It's everything that you need, and you can just go through it in a progression like that. And in terms of the lab, it's kind of interesting that they built this kind of into the UI, so you can actually click into the lab, and you'll see here, you start your lab here, and just like before, you'll download the VPN file and you'll connect to it through whatever machine that you're using. And here on the left-hand side is the actual walkthrough. And I actually really like this because it's very helpful in terms of having everything here on this one page. You don't need to have a separate PDF that's open or anything like that anymore. It's all just right here, and it's really got everything that you need to have in the lab for doing the lab and everything like that. And sometimes I've seen they'll have like some tables in here of questions that you need to answer. I mean, it's not like you're required to answer it before you keep reading, but I think that the format of this is pretty nice, and it keeps everything nice and tidy in here, and you know exactly where you are in terms of the lab and in terms of where the lab fits in with the course content. So that's kind of like the UI of the cybersecurity pass, and how it's changed, and overall cost, which if you're doing 2 certifications, it's going to be around $2,600 for 1 year of the pass and those 2 certifications. Now, I believe where the INE cybersecurity pass comes in, we'll do cyber pass here. Where the rewards comes in when you're going to be doing more than 1 certification. So if you do 3 certifications, it's only an extra $300 or $400, right? So it's 3,000 now. 4 certifications, we're talking about $3,400. I know you're probably looking at that and saying, "Wow, that's a lot for a year." But also, if you get that for 2 years, it would be two. If you got a buy one get one offer, which is usually offered in October, you can get 4 certifications over the course of 2 years for around $3,400. Now, again, in terms of the value overall, in terms of HR filters, getting through that kind of stuff, there's definitely different certifications out there that are, more well recognized. And one of those certifications is the OSCP, which is right here, the Offensive Security Certified Practitioner. And you can actually click in here, earn your OSCP, and down here we have the pricing for the OSCP. And I have not taken the OSCP yet, but I plan to take it very soon. It's probably going to be the next certification that I do, but I just want to kind of compare these two things based on cost so you can kind of see where INE fits in the grand scheme of cybersecurity certifications. So for the OSCP, it's $999 just for 30 days of lab access. So this is very common for a lot of other certifying bodies that are not INE or eLearn Security. Usually you have X amount of days for a lab access. So if you're going to be taking these courses like the OSCP, you're going to need to be very laser focused on those labs, and you don't want to waste any days. You want to be in that lab environment every single day. You want to be working on the labs as much as you possibly can so that you can get that experience, because those labs are pretty likely to show up, or something very similar to those labs is very likely to show up in the exam. So if we're comparing the cybersecurity pass to the OSCP, we're going to say that, $1,349 is going to be the top one. 90 days of lab access. That's as comparable as we can possibly get to the cybersecurity pass with unlimited lab time. So OSCP, we're looking at $1,349. Let's just call it $1,350. And also, honestly, I'm going to tack in there this exam retake fee, because I have heard of a lot of people needing to retake the OSCP almost no matter how much preparation they did. It's very, very rare to pass that certification on the first attempt. And that's just kind of the nature of it. So a retake, $150. So total, we are looking at $1,500 for that whole certification package there. I would definitely recommend, if you're taking the OSCP, you definitely want to factor in this retake fee. And the other thing that doesn't really align up with eLearn Security is that if you overrun your lab time, say that you fail the first time, you went through this 90 days of lab access, and you failed your first time and you ran out of lab access, you're going to need to buy an extension as well. And you can see that really gets costly as you try to buy more and more extensions. So 30 days is an extra almost $360. 60 days is $600 and 90 is 800. So if you're not going to be very laser focused on the OSCP, those costs can really start to build up, right? Like right here, we're only talking about 1,500 bucks, but if you need to get an extra 90 days of lab time, or you need to get an extra retake and extra 90 days of lab time, we're looking at least another $800 on top of this, which would bring the totals to more around $2,300. Um, Now, that's not really saying all that much because the OSCP is definitely one of the most well-known certifications and is definitely great for getting through HR filters. Usually it's required for any kind of penetration testing position that requires X number of years of experience, and usually if it's not like a junior penetration tester or something like that, this is just a cost that you're going to need to eat to really become a professional. And alongside that also is the CEH. So the CEH for one exam attempt here is around $1,900. So EC Council CEH is $1,900, right? And that includes 1 year of access to the instructor-led training modules, official courseware, iLabs, cert of completion, and one exam voucher. I don't know how much it costs to take a retake of the CEH. I would probably guess $300 to $400, if not more. And I also did not do the CEH through EC Council's website here. I actually did mine as part of Western Governor University's master's degree program. So if you're interested in the CEH, there's definitely an alternative way that you can do this and maybe save some money overall in terms of uh, the costs of just buying a CEH straight up, and in terms of also earning a master's degree. If you're interested in that, please take a look at my video. So overall, I would say this $1,900 plus this $1,500, that would be like the cost of if you wanted to go out today and get the most well-known cybersecurity penetration testing certifications that are going to get you through HR. They're going to, prove that you know your stuff in the field, and these are like the gold standard of penetration testing currently. That is going to cost you 1,500 plus 1,900 basically. This obviously doesn't include tax. $3,400, right? So we'll call this like the professional path. Okay, and the cybersecurity path, cyber pass path, $2,600 if you want 2 certifications in a year. And these are kind of similar in a way because you could probably do the OSCP and the CEH in 1 year if you really focused 6 months on each one. I think that would be accomplishable in terms of being a professional path for 1 year of learning. Now we're going to just take a look at some of the other options out there that are kind of more informal, just to compare costs. Try HackMe is a great hacking platform. It's got a lot of lab machines, a lot of content there, and it's $10 per month if you're looking for an entire year of access. So try HackMe is $120. If you're buying the year here, it's $7.50 times 12. That's all charged at one time, and that is $90. So 1 year. And a similar platform that is very popular as well is Hack the Box, and that is also around $10 a month. So that would be $120. Hack the Box, $120 for 1 year. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to be doing Hack the Box, try Hack Me a lot. You're going to definitely need to know some basics about penetration testing. And one of the best Udemy courses that you can get right now is the Practical Ethical Hacking by Heath Adams. It's $30. And also recently he has a TCM Academy right here that has a lot of his courses. He has some different courses here. He has Practical Ethical Hacking, which is a great course for understanding penetration testing. from really a ground level up. And we have Windows and Linux privilege escalation, OS and fundamentals, and he has a whole bundle here for $80 for that would be plenty of content for you to learn for a year if you're just getting started in the field or if you're just trying to learn more. So let's consider that as TCM Academy, $80. So now let's talk about kind of where each of these fit in to, your learning and kind of the environment overall. So if you were trying to get started in penetration testing and you just wanted to learn as much as possible for the cheapest amount of money, you didn't care about certifications, you didn't care about anything else, these options down here at the bottom would be absolutely the best options that you could do. We'll say this is starter pack. Honestly, you can probably choose try Hack Me or Hack the Box. Make a choice between one of those, whichever platform that you like the most. Just give both a try. They're both free to try. Whichever platform you like the most, pick one. And then buy the TCM Academy for 80 bucks. If you're just looking at getting started, you're just wanting to learn as much as possible, this would be absolutely plenty of content for a year of studying that you could do. So let's just say that the starter pack, you're going to do 1 year of Try Hack Me, and you're just going to pay for it right up front. So it's $90 for a year. You're going to do 1 year of TCM Academy, and we'll say that that total is just $170, 90 plus 80. So this would be the absolute best use of your money if you're not looking for any certifications. You're just trying to learn as much as possible. You're just getting started in the field. That would be the best thing that you can do. I mean, it's only $170 compared to these other things. It is literally just pennies. So where do I think that the cybersecurity pass fits in compared to the uh, EC Council and OSCP certifications? So I'm not going to say that any of these things are good or bad necessarily. I just want to kind of compare the pros and cons and say like, this thing's good for that thing and this thing's good for that thing. I can't really say, you know, this one's bad, don't do it, or this one's good, do it. I mean, they all have their own merit, which is what I'm going to be talking about just right now. So in terms of the EC Council, CEH, and the OSCP, obviously, these are extremely popular certifications that are really necessary for a professional penetration tester. If you're looking at, going through interviews, you might be able to get by with just one of these, and then follow it up with additional knowledge. But most of the time, a lot of job postings are going to have the OSCP, and they're also going to have the CEH. So this is really kind of just a professional cost that you're going to need to pay just to kind of eat at the end of the day if you're going to be just focused on getting these two certifications. I know it's expensive. I know it's probably a lot of money that a lot of people do not have, but it's probably something that you're going to have to pay eventually, no matter what. So, for example, for me, I already have my CEH. I'm going for the OSCP next. I mean, it's just additional, knowledge and additional courses and learning more and more all the time. So this is going to be the cost if you want to. I would say this is the cost if you want to be a really certified professional penetration tester and you want to do the base minimum of paying the amount of money that you're going to need. Remember, this does not take into account any EC Council CEH exam retakes, which you may or may not need depending on your situation, and it does not take into account more than one retake of the OSCP. So just keep that in mind as well. But if you're going to be a true professional, those are going to be the two certifications that people are really going to look for. So, I mean, that's just kind of the overall cost. You could probably do those two things in a year if you really focused hard on the OSCP and the CEH. Now, where do I think that the cybersecurity pass fits in there in terms of the uh, certifying bodies out here? So, honestly, the biggest benefit of the cybersecurity pass is the ability to switch between red and blue team certifications. I mean, okay, so look at this professional path, right? $3,400. You can take two other certifications from other certifying bodies, and it's probably going to be costing at least that much, if not more. okay? No matter what it is, whether you're looking at blue team certifications, whether you're looking at other red team certifications, whether you're looking at software and or security engineering certifications, it's probably going to be somewhere around this cost, or usually I consider it as $1,000 per certification. But as you can see with the cybersecurity pass, the ability to jump between uh, certifying paths in red and blue team is definitely unique. So, like you can jump from penetration testing student to one day to incident handling and response for another day, or you can jump from path to path if there's something that you're interested in learning, like digital forensics, malware analysis. There's all kinds of different content in here that gives you uh, very good depth in terms of specific areas of cybersecurity. So that's something I think is very unique about INE, is that these really go in depth into different niche areas of cybersecurity. So, for example, mobile app penetration tester, there's not really any certifications out there that cover mobile app penetration tester besides one from SANS. And if we're talking about SANS, we're probably going to be talking about at least double the cost of any of these models, right? So the advantage of the cybersecurity pass is that you have this diversity of different things that you can learn. You have advanced penetration tester. All the course content is there for you to learn, and basically you can go and get those extra certification vouchers whenever you want. And as you take more certifications, as we show here, the costs really start to pay more benefit compared to other certifications. So through the Cyber Pass, if you want to get 4 certifications in a year, which you'd have to be really working hard to get those in a year, because the e-learn security certifications are not a joke at all. They definitely require a very good depth of understanding of all of the course content. Me personally, I've done 3 certifications this year, but that also includes the EJPT, which is very easy. So, but as you can see, the dividends really start to pay off as you get certified in more than two or more things per year. Because $2,600 for 2 certifications is really not that bad in the grand scheme of things. As you can see, it's like $1,500 for the OSCP alone, $1,900 for the CEH alone. So it's kind of a little bit lower priced in terms of the overall cost. And you're going to be learning very similar things to the OSCP. And I've actually heard that the PTP, the Penetration Testing Professional, is really, really good prep for the OSCP in general. Um, so yeah, in general, I guess that's just the benefits of the cybersecurity pass. You have the ability to switch between fields. You have the ability to go and maybe, get way more in depth on certain things. The OSCP, of course, so like if you think about this, uh, the the cybersecurity pass has web application penetration testing. Offensive security has something very similar. The OSWE, I think it is called. Yeah, the OSWE Web Expert, right? That's going to be at least another $1,500 for that certification. See, $14.99 for just the 90 days of lab access. Does not include any retakes or anything like that. So, almost every offensive security certification is going to be $1,500. So, take this as an example. If you wanted to learn web application penetration testing and you wanted to learn basic penetration testing, then that would be $3,000 through offensive security. And by comparison, the INE Cybersecurity Pass would be $2,600 for those 2 certifications. If you went for 3 certifications through OSCP, which I don't know very many people who do that many in a year, but I mean, that would be kind of pushing it, then you'd be looking at least 35 or $4,500 for 3 certifications, right? 1,500 plus 1,500 plus 1,500, $4,500 for 3 certifications. You can get that same knowledge for basically $3,000 through the cybersecurity pass. So as you just want to specialize in more areas, sure, these might not be as well known as HR filter certifications by INE and eLearn Security, but they're definitely up and coming. And I would say in the next 5 to 7 years, they're going to be way more recognized and well known in the industry. But if you're just looking for the actual knowledge itself, then I think that's where the cybersecurity pass and eLearn security comes in, because they have the hand holding of the labs. They have the unlimited lab time. You don't need to worry about, having only 90 days of lab access. You don't need to have that worry in the back of your mind of, oh, I'm not using the lab. I'm gonna be running out of time. Oh, I didn't get to this thing. And also, what I like about the course content, as we talked about before, is it really helps you to keep track of everything you've done, so you can go through the different areas and check them off one by one. It's very structured. So it's kind of like a combination of the unlimited lab time, the structure, and the variety that really makes the cybersecurity pass more worth it. Again, I'm not going to say that any of these are good or bad, or that they're better than the other. If you want to learn the absolute most in a year, you can pay $170 and learn a ton based off of just TryHackMe and TCM Academy for $170. I mean, good luck in life finding any hobby that is only going to cost you $170 for a year. It's very hard to find anything like that that is that much of a value in terms of getting a professional path here, and finding your way through HR filters, having those certifications that are like the the bell ringing in someone's head of, oh hey, this person's qualified. $3,400 is just the nature of the beast these days of what you're going to need to pay to become really professionally certified. And if you want to go for more of just the learning approach, maybe you like eLearn security, you like what they've done in the past, maybe you took the EJPT and really liked the course content, you really can't go that wrong with the cybersecurity pass, because you're able to go and learn pretty much whatever you want, go on through whatever certifications you would like, just pay that extra $400 for additional certifications, which is quite unique in terms of cybersecurity, because usually you're paying at least $1,000 to $1,500 for any additional certification. But I mean, they all have their own costs and benefits, and I hope that this video was educational for you and maybe gives you some idea of the cybersecurity pass, what to expect. I'm personally probably going to stay in the cybersecurity pass, but I'm also going to be doing the OSCP here soon. So, I mean, I think it's always best to learn as much as possible from as many people as possible, and obviously it's very expensive, but I hope that this helps you to make some decisions. Like, if you're going to just go for what is the most professional certifications, you're going to have to go for this one. If you want to just learn in general, definitely this is the most cost effective option. And if you're looking for a combination of red and blue team training, or just a extra variety of training materials, and you don't really, you want certifications to prove your knowledge, but they're maybe not as well known as some others out there, the cybersecurity pass is definitely another good option out there. Thanks for listening. Oh, and I have one more thing to show you if you have made it all the way to the end of this video. So a lot of people have complained about the cybersecurity pass not having any monthly option. And let me show you kind of the issue here. So if you go to the cybersecurity pass on INE's website, and you go down here, and you go get the pass, you'll see that in the checkout area, you go to monthly option, and there's no monthly option here, but they have this strange question mark, right? And these other things are here. I mean, INE is very well known for having uh, networking training that is very well recognized in the industry and used for a lot of Cisco certs. But if you want a monthly option for the cybersecurity pass, you can actually go to inspect here, and under sources, this is where the JavaScript, CSS, all kinds of stuff is loaded for the web page, including, as you can see, some other domains. And if you go to JS and this chunk here, and you scroll down a good bit, there's actually something a little bit suspicious here. And here it is. What's this weird binary? So if you take this binary and put it into something like CyberChef, and you're going to be converting this binary to text. So from binary, look, Looking for a monthly option? Go to this URL. Boom. And $200 a month for the cybersecurity pass. So that kind of gives you an extra option that is kind of hidden from view here, but there is still a way to get the cybersecurity pass for a monthly option, and I hope that helps some of you guys who are looking for that kind of an option. Thanks. Have a good one.